Well, hello. So, you see this baby? I got it off of Temu. I'm no way endorsing Temu, but the price was right. It was about $89, and my staircase here was in need of repair. It was broken off in two different posts, and yeah, thought I'd take a chance. Even if I did a horrible job on it and it's stuck, then at least it wouldn't be so much of a safety hazard if somebody went to lean on it. But I did do welding, grade 10 to grade 12, and God bless Mr. Walski. He's probably passed on now, but he's probably laughing his butt off at me at the moment. Anyways, should I have practiced? Oh yeah. Should I have used this piece of equipment? Well, no guts, no glory. Like I said, the price was right. So, does it look like a volcano puked on my weld? Oh yeah, definitely. But I had a few things. So number one, using this type of welder, it's not what I ever used before, and I don't think a lot of people are even aware of this kind of a welder. But for little home jobs, or say if you're out in the bush and you got a inverter that can handle 110 or 220, or like a generator, I suppose it would get you by in worst case scenario. But anyway, the other thing that was against me was that this is hollow pipe, and really not that thick either. It's probably 2 mil thick, and the base, like every 1970s home, has you know, this steel that is the base. So this is what the original looks like, and it's quite rusted, and I gotta clean it up and get some paint on there and all that kind of thing. And even the original welds, if you can see, not very nice. And because it's rusted, so now oxidized metal, it's gone away. And I had to file and sand and, you know, wire wheel it down to bare metal, of course, to make your weld stick. So first challenge, figuring out the settings, especially because I was in welding in 1985 to 87, 88, and so I'm 55 now. So that's a long time not to be welding. I've cut metal with like oxyacetylene. I love oxyacetylene. That's like, you know, once you learn how to ride a bike and you know your settings, you can do a fantastic job, and I do a fantastic job with that. But arc welding was always kind of a bane of my existence. Number one, a full-length rod. I could never grab an arc and maintain it and then just get into the rhythm of laying down a bead. I've always had to cut off like maybe an inch or two just to get going, and I do know to trim off the end so that you got, you know, your rod exposed. So did I have to contend with, not only did I have to contend with the pipe being so thin and degraded, and trying to figure out the settings on the welder and try to remember my skill as well. So I started burning holes through, and that's kind of typical, you know, too hot and all that kind of thing. So then I caught on to the idea that maybe I should build up a weld on the plate and then just lightly extend my arc to the pipe so that it would melt into the pipe and have good penetration. So there's the other side. And this one was really tricky because there again the pipe was pretty much rusted out at the bottom, and then tried to have to build up enough bead on the bottom to kind of anchor the pipe. And that's my final weld. I actually started doing a decent weld at the back. But yeah, so is it solid? Yay, it's solid. It's not going to come off anytime soon. And yeah, just one of those things. Thought I'd try it out. I'd really love a decent arc welding setup, and you can get these things that, you know, they're pretty much, you just plunk in your settings, and it's they're very easy to use, not like high school back in the 80s. But I burned through about 6 rods, and yeah, mission successful. Somewhat. Do I like the weld? No, not really. Is it going to suffice? Yeah, for now. Am I going to grind it down? Yeah, I'll grind it down. Maybe do some actual practice before I start. I just started cold. I don't really have any material to actually practice on. I should get a length of pipe and cut some short pieces and some plate, and then, you know, practice up before I tackle the project. But it is what it is. Yay. Anyway, just thought I'd share with you that you know, if there's a will, there's a way. And you know, being able to do your home repairs, great. You know, could have went very wrong. You know, my settings were too high at the beginning, too much power, too much amperage, and I burned a hole through the pipe, and quite a big one, like probably a dime size. So I had to build up from the plate all the way up, kind of thing, and then kind of just, you know, do bead after bead after bead after bead, just to kind of fill it in and adjust my settings as I was going to decrease the temperature that it was burning at. But wow. So hats off to you guys that do it full time for a living. It's definitely not a skill that you could lay down for any length of time. Definitely have to, you know, maintain that skill and your sensitivity. By the end of it, I was striking an arc okay. The other thing was, you know, just because it's like a big drill, and I was also holding a face mask so I was doing it one-handed, holding a face mask in the other hand to protect my eyes. I always wore a helmet, you know, that flipped down, and then I could like steady myself with both hands. So that was a challenge too, because I'd never actually used a handheld face shield with for arc welding. Even acetylene, I always had goggles, and you know, you can see through the goggles. this one that came with this kit, it's black. So definitely not going to burn your eyes, but even just seeing around that welding machine and maintaining the proper distance from your arc, and based on your setting and how hot or cold it was, laying down the bead, yeah, very challenging, but it's solid, and I don't have any big holes in the pipe, and she's anchored to that base plate. So, and it didn't burn down my house or have electrical issues as well. I was kind of worried about this. I've got, really old wiring in my house. It's the old aluminum wiring. And I've had an electrician go through my house and make sure that everything was okay and the proper plugs were okay. And I do have a GFI plug out in the front, so if anything went horribly wrong, I would have kicked the breaker on that. I was using the proper cord for an extension cord. You got to make sure that the gauge of the extension cord is going to be the same gauge as what you're using as far as an electrical appliance or whatever, or larger. And so that was all good, and I didn't have any problems in that sense either. So that's today's project. Yay. And yeah, I gotta get maybe some grinding done, and then throw some rust paint on it, and call her good for the winter. Cheers. Have a great day.